All right, I think we're live now. Peace, everybody. Hopefully, you're all doing well. This is Master Menelec, and I had another sketching session going on. So, welcome to everybody who's coming through. Welcome to everybody who is new to the space. Welcome all the same, even if you're coming on the back end. Peace on the radio. So, I don't know. I think I'll do some warming up and wait to see who joins. I'll probably give it like, oh, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I want to do that because I don't want to explain twice what we're doing. So, I'll basically do some warm up sketches and see who comes through. And after 5 minutes, let's see, it's 9:03 EST. All right, so 9:08. I'll just start with my spiel, and then everybody can catch the replay. Whoever doesn't come directly. But yeah, man, this is sketching sessions, and I'm just doing this because I need dedicated workshop time. So this is a good time to warm up my wrists. Let's see. Oh, let me start. Yeah, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this is a work excuse to do my workshop hours because I do not practice as often as I probably should. It's actually not bad pose. Yeah, I don't practice as often as I should, so stick his chest out. So just getting some practice in and getting better along the way, little bit by a little bit, not really putting too much pressure on it. The emphasis on it really is to have fun while doing it and not try to impose any type of, I don't know, any type of expectation on how it should look at the end or what the finished product should be. Because that's the reason why you sketch in the first place. You sketch because you want to try stuff out. You want to get better. Maybe you learn a new technique, or maybe you watch a YouTube video and you want to try it and see if you can play around with it, alter it, remix it, or just get the foundation in general. But yeah, man, I always had this fear that someone would see a sketchbook and be like, "Oh, it's not that great. It's not that impressive," you know. But just having the need to be impressive in the first place kind of it almost defeats the purpose of being an artist. You're trying to. It's like not speaking your mind because you don't think it sounds fly enough, or you don't think people are gonna be impressed with what you say, or it's not a good sound bite, so you keep quiet. It's like, no, that's my pizza. Put it down. I was saving that to say it in a spicy way, in a sarcastic way that deserves a laugh track. Let's see if I can do a couple more gesture drawings while I'm waiting. Okay, I got a minute left. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I used to do like gesture drawings, like 30-second sketches. Like you got 30 seconds to draw and that's it. So every line has to be really precise. And it still has to give off like a dynamic feeling to it. I just Googled the first image I could find of a gesture. Oh, there's a Pro Projector. And then you can always come back and refine it later. But we're talking about lines, right? So let's get into it. It is, oh, I did it in less than 30 seconds. Wow, nice. Still got it a little bit. Could be a little cleaner, a little crisper. But that's why we're here now. We're here to study and practice lines. It's 9:08 PC Manaya. You're gonna be I'm curious. Are you two gonna be participating? I know I said that this is gonna be interactive. Speaking of which, I am going to let me see if I could get it because of how my thing is set up. I think I copied it. Yeah. All right, so it's in the chat. Anyone who wants to join in, they can just click and join in. If you have your sketch materials, if you wanted to join in and sketch alongside, you don't have to stay. You could just pop on, say, this is what I did. I was just drawing along with you. But that was the whole thing. I'm sketching, and why should I have all the fun? So I'm going through all of these principles. I think is pretty useful for anyone who wants to learn it. But B, I also have to brush up on my fundamentals because I'm fairly satisfied with the sketches I did, but that was me running off of what I knew before I started the sketching session, and I figured I might as well go back to basics and foundations. And I'm still doing the hero sketches. I'm still doing the drawings, but if I could shore up my foundation a little bit and strengthen it, then we could see some results on the back end too. And this really just came off the Miles Davis piece where I got kind of funky at the end and started freestyling, which felt good. It felt really good. So I am going to get into what I wanted to talk about today, which is basically lines. So we talked about lines a little bit last session, and we were talking about its methods and its uses, how you can use it for communication. I can use it for keeping things simple, making simple gesture drawings, or simple gestural lines, like I was doing here. So line is one of the primary. I'm still alive. Yeah, I hope that didn't scare nobody. So as I said, line is one of the elements. Keep it moving. Line is one of the elements of art. So we have 7 elements. We have line, we have shape, we have form, we have color, we have value, texture, and space, right? So a line is simply a dot that's moving in a continuous motion from one point to another, right? A line is still a dot, like it's still a fixed point, but it's moving. It's not fixed in that it's completely stationary, but it's still a dot. It's still a unit. Like this person, like he may be different conceptually, but it's still Tom walking here, and then Tom may stop. You know, and try to figure out where the heck he is because he just walked and he didn't have any sense of direction. Right. And that's the thing with lines too. All the lines should be deliberate, which is kind of difficult, more difficult than you may think, because you start a line and you move it across the page and you stop it, but it doesn't always go where you envisioned it going, right? And that can be difficult for several reasons, but it all depends on what you're trying to do, because lines are very versatile. Often the simplest things have the most versatility because they don't have so many moving parts. It's just a dot going from here to here. So nothing simpler than that, right? After a while, when you add in more elements, it gets a little bit more complex. And of course, each element sort of builds on what you may have learned previously. For example, a shape. A shape is just a line that connects with itself or passes over itself, right? So you could have a sort of geometric shape like that. It's not the cleanest, or you can have a more natural shape, which doesn't necessarily follow geometric rules, but the line crosses over itself or it connects to itself. So there you have your shape, right? And I won't go over all of them. We're just focused on lines. And I just wanted to go over very quickly, again, for being studious sake, because I have some notes here. And sometimes the easiest way to remember your notes is to teach someone else, right? So the easiest way to learn is to teach. Lines are a medium of expression. They can also express energy, right? So um, let's say this guy, I don't want to name him Tom. That's the whitest name I can think of. Um, let's say, I don't know, DJ, a little better. Let's say DJ moves from here to here, right? And it just looks like he walked. But let's say he moves from here to here, but there's like this bursting. And then he's still here. Not sure of what just happened, right? So now I just depicted movement with this line. I just depicted motion. And depending on the level of energy you want to exhibit, let's say I move these lines back a little bit. That's a terrible rendition. But let's say he moves from here to here. So that's motion. Of course, the length of the line is also important. The thickness of the line is also important because you can have a very thin line like I had there, or you can have a very thick line like that. So thin lines here are good for they're good for very harsh and definite movement or even creating hard edges. Whereas thicker lines, they're they're very um, they're very soft in nature. So you may want to use a thicker line or a softer line if you want to depict something existing in three-dimensional space. Like I may I'll keep going back to the circle, right? I may have a circle and a fruit is the easiest thing for me to depict in terms of just a quick example. So let's say I have a fruit and I erase this line here to show that the light is hitting it. But I make this line here just a little bit rougher, a little bit sharper. And that'll let you know that the light isn't hitting it here. And this is a darker area. But this is nice and light, right? So if I use a thick line, now we have, I didn't mean to go into form, but now we have a form, right? And that very hard, definite edge lets me know that this is a very sharp turn into the background. Whereas this one is a little bit more diffused, and you can tell that there's a lot of light going on here. The shadowy parts let you know that there's not a lot of light hitting this part. And you can use very hard lines to change what's called a plane. So if I have a circle, again, but let's say I use more sharp lines to depict the changes in the plane. So it's still technically a round object, but I'm being very literal and zooming in a little bit more on exactly where these lines are, where the shape is turning. Right. So you still have this round shape, but now you can see where it's turning, right? And you don't want to use harsh lines if you're trying to depict something in three-dimensional form. Oh, easy, man.
Peace. I wasn't ready. I ain't start nothing yet.
Oh, you didn't start yet?
Nah, I was trying to get situated.
Oh, that's small things. I was just going over all of the notes and everything that I had. But there are actually some warm-up exercises and some drills so that you can get your arm, warmed up and get all the blood flowing in that area. So you want to try it?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yes. Let's go. All right. Let me do something on this side, just so I can make sure I can see everything that's happening. Okay, I can see. All right. So, well, I'm not gonna use a new. Um. Wow, that's weird. So the delay is real. Okay, so I'm not gonna use a new page. I'm gonna just do it right here. So I think you remember last time I said that there are basically a couple of lines that you can use. So I'm gonna put them here, and this can also be a part of your warm up, right? I'm gonna put them down here. So you have a vertical line, and you have horizontal lines, you have diagonal lines, which work both ways. Then you also have curvy lines, right? So you have what's known as a C curve, which, like its name, it looks like a C. And you have an S curve, which, like its name sounds, looks like an S. So you can make lots of different shapes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Can you see it? It's kind of backwards. Wait a minute. Which way it go? This way?
Oh, the light is just making it.
Oh,
Oh, that's tiny.
oh
Okay,
my.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. I can see the C and the S. Well, because the light is reflecting off the
Is that any
yeah,
better?
it might be. Let me see.
Oh, I think I got it upside down.
Yeah, it looks upside down on my side. Yeah, but I can see it. I can
Okay.
see it.
All right.
Yeah, in your case, you may need to make a little bit harsher lines. Oh, that's much better. It's right side up. Yeah, your lines may need to be a little darker, just so the camera picks it up.
Okay.
All right then. So we have all of these different types of lines. And of course, if you remember certain things you would do when you were younger, you just pick up the pencil and start doing this.
Yep.
Um, you have what's known as a zigzag line, which looks like combination of these two right here. So you could just zigzag, or you can do something like a curvy line, right? Looks more wavy, and this is like a combination of C and S, just going up and down, up and down. You may have loops. You know, you may have a very tight turn, and you may have a very wide turn, right? So what I want you to do is draw about 10 of each. This is like a warm-up exercise. I used to do like 100 of each, but we're just gonna stick to 10, right? So you just do vertical lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing with horizontal. Diagonal. See if you can get these straighter lines parallel. And then you have your C curves. Seven, 8, 9, 10, and your S curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, how you feeling?
I'm behind. I'm just starting the S's.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I might ask on the radio to play some very light music in the background because wherever you live, it sounds haunted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's my coyotes and wildlife in the background. My bad.
Don't even worry about it. It sounds
I
like
forgot it was even on. All right, here's my.
Okay. That's like they're
You see?
consistent too. Oh yeah, that's cool. Look at that. Yeah, we in business. Cooking with oil.
All right.
Okay, so these are a couple of drills that I have not tried yet. So this is going to be fun. Okay, we got a fresh page. So the three of these came from they came from a YouTuber whose name I do not want to butcher because I also got to practice getting people's names right. I'm terrible with names. Oh wow. I'll get his name. You know, or maybe on the radio to put their name in the chat. You know, the credit for the line drawing drills. But the first one is called, well, it's for line control. So let's say, oh, there you go. Got it. Chroma Momo. Yeah, that's why I got his name wrong. I was trying to pronounce it earlier too. Chroma Momo.
Chromo Momo.
Yeah, Momo. I'll put the description. I'll put the link to their video in the chat. He has a couple more line drills, but they went into form and dimension and things like that. I said, let me just stick to line. So for this one, it sounds simple, but it's not super easy. But we start at a beginner level. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is draw a circle right here. Or at least I don't have to draw a circle. Just put a dot, a little X right here. I'll put an X right here, right? And all you need to do is try to draw a line from this X to this X, right? And it's pretty straightforward, but as you can see, you can miss. So this is helping you to control your lines, right? And that'll help in the future because these are just building blocks and tools. So it's just like someone teaching you how to throw a jab.
I need to use a ruler to make the X's.
You have a ruler?
I don't know. I know I do. Is it in here?
If you don't have one, then it's fine.
I got a ton of pens. Nope. I don't know where the ruler is right now. It's all right.
All right, you be all right. Let me see your line.
I mean, it's kind of straight. Where is the? I can't never find the camera. There it is.
Oh, I gotta wait for the delay.
Oh.
This is a long delay.
You can't see it?
No, I'm waiting. Okay, there it is. Yeah, that's pretty straight. Yeah, you did better than me.
What?
Yeah, so it's just, so we'll do 10 of these, but what we'll do is instead of doing 10, we'll do 15, but we'll do 5 at we'll do 5 at each level. I'll call them different levels. So same thing, same distance, X, X, and then try to draw lines straight through. Try to get through the middle of both X's.
I'll go through it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Next one, X, X. Go straight through them. Still cooking. Okay, I think we back. I think I went dark for a second.
Oh.
Yeah, you were so focused, you didn't even see it.
I didn't.
Yeah, but this how my lines are looking. Just nasty.
I missed the middle on some of them.
Yeah, same here. Because I'm used to just drawing like this. Let me see. Oh, you did a lot.
Well, we was doing 10, I think, right?
No, I said we're doing 15, but we do 5 at 3 different levels. So that was 5 for the short level. So that was like the easy level. And of course, you can make it easier, like if you wanted to start here. That's it.
Okay.
So if you wanted to draw from here to here, that would be easier. This one would be considered slightly harder. But now we're going to go from here to here. Right? So this one's a little harder because the line is you're traveling a little farther. All right, so let's see if I get this.
Whoa, I missed that.
That wasn't bad. I thought it would have been way off. Let me see what. Let me brag.
That's a little bit better.
Oh, I missed that X. Dang.
Yeah, I missed on some of them.
Yeah, I missed on some of mine too. Yeah,
Is it dark enough?
Bad, though. Give me 1 second. Because of the way my iPod that I'm using to stream this on is hooked up to the pod thingy, the tripod thingy. I can't see half of the screen, so I gotta wait till. Oh, that's good. Yeah, man, that's solid. I can see them. I usually have to wait until I see on my other screen. That delay is real. I gotta wait. Yeah, man. All right, so third longest. Ready? So start at the same position. We go to the end of the page.
Oh, all the way over. You see, yours kind of other way, so.
All right, let's see. He does say in the video too, a good tip is to look at the X that you're drawing, that you're aiming for. Don't worry about the initial X or following the pencil. Just look at where your pencil is going. The analogy that he had used was, if you're learning to ride a bike, you look forward, you don't look down at the tires.
Okay.
Let me see. And it actually works.
It does. It does.
Sometimes. All right. That one was less scary than I thought it would be.
I can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it this way or that way? This way, that way.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see if I can get this up a little bit so I can get a better picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Looking at the extra going to definitely helps. Because that first, my first one was off, but the rest of them are pretty much through the middle or really close.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They're good though. It's kind of blurry on my side. Yeah, but it's solid. All right, so that's one drill. Of course, we have to warm up. And there's another drill that has a couple of, it actually has another part added to it, which is like a bonus. Because it's very difficult to use a line by itself. You know, you can use it, but it's very difficult to use any of these elements without kind of overlapping between the other one. Yeah, so what I am going to do now is I'm going to use a ruler. So if you did have a ruler, you know, it would be good to grab it now. And I'm going to demonstrate what you're going to do as you're grabbing the ruler. Start at an easy level. Yeah, next time I'll have a list of supplies.
It's around here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I can use my emery board.
Yeah, you can just use anything to get two relatively straight parallel lines. You can use the edge of a book. The good thing about art is you don't need the right tool. You just need the right tool.
How close they need to be? Oh,
they don't need to be that far apart. There's these two right here. Right? And they can even be closer. The closer they are, the easier this exercise is going to be.
That's cool.
Found something?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so this one is pretty straightforward. I guess I need to be closer to the sketch for you. Let me see if I can do a little thing else without destroying everything again. Okay. This may be a little bit closer. Is that easier to see?
I can see.
Okay, so all I'm doing here is drawing parallel lines, but we're going to use a little bit of value to it. Right? So one of them is just drawing parallel lines as spaced apart as they need to, as they equal spaces apart. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just trying to keep the lines equally spaced apart. That's all I'm doing. Equal spaces apart. I'm trying to keep them as straight as possible, but also I'm also aiming for just keeping in between those two lines if I could. Feels like push-ups. Okay, so let me know when you're done. And let me know in the 20-second delay. I'll let you know when the 20-second delay actually shows me your picture. But in the meantime, I'll be drawing 2 more parallel lines, which you're going to do as well.
These are the ones I did so far.
Let's see. Yeah, you can put your hands down, but probably got to give it a minute. Give it a minute for the delay to kick in. But as you can see, I drew 2 more parallel lines, so you can do that.
Okay.
This delay is real. All right, looks like you're picking it up now. Let's see what you got. All right, cool. Yeah, they look decent. Yeah, mine's look a little wobbly. Yours look good, and yours are further apart than mine. So you did a higher difficulty level than I did. Yeah, man, that's cool. So I see you drawing on this screen, so I'm assuming that you're actually done in real life.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the next set of instructions. I drew my parallel lines.
All right, cool. So you're gonna do the exact same thing you did here, with a slight difference. The difference is you're gonna go from dark to light. Now, the way that you go from dark to light is the closer the lines are together, the darker it's gonna appear because it's crowded, right? And the farther they are apart from one another, the lighter it's gonna appear. So it's gonna look something like this. And then it's going to gradually space itself apart. You see that?
Okay. I need the other thing.
All right. And you can do very thin lines. And then it's just gradually going to look a little lighter. Make sense?
That's what I'm doing in the parallel lines.
Right. And you're gonna try to make it as gradual as possible. And this is the style of shading that's called hatching.
Okay.
You know, like hatching an egg. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. You ready?
All right.
Say, all right. All right, let's go. Oh, peace, I see outfit.
I think I'm easing up too soon.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard.
I know, right? I'm gonna do another one.
Let's see.
Yeah, man, this is fundamentals always feel hard because you can't skip them. Yeah, just be like, all right, feel like drawing a flower now. Feel like drawing a gun. All right, I'm curious to see what's going on over there. You giggling too much.
I'm trying to get to the bottom, and it's mixed in dark and light, dark and light. Oh my! All right, so this is what came out.
Okay, that should be long enough for the temperature. I can't see it.
Yeah,
not
it's
yet.
not.
No, I mean the thing is in the way.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's blocking my view. Gotta wait at least 5 more minutes for it to show up on YouTube. Oh, okay, it looks cool. It looks gradual, but that's a lot of lines.
I know.
That's a lot of lines.
It is. That's how I was like, it's taking so long to get to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think I did enough lines. Yeah, this is a fun fact though. This is where the different types of pencils you use. These are charcoal pencils, but I was mentioning medium earlier. One of your medium would be pencils, paint, pastel color pencils, like whatever it is you're using to make your marks. You're destroying that paper. Whatever tools you're using to make your mark. So if you look at these, you can see they go from range. So you have one that is hard, medium, and extra soft. I was just using the hard one. So the harder it is, the less of the graphite or the less of the charcoal is actually going to break off and go into the paper. But the softer it gets, the more it's going to come off. So as you can see, the closer the lines are together, or the more the medium is one closer together, the darker it's going to be. So I'm sure you can guess which one is going to be the darkest pencil.
The extra soft.
Yeah, the extra soft.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do the same thing with the medium. And same width apart. And you can already see it darker. So if I use the extra soft, it's even darker.
Right.
And that's because just like these lines, all of the little pieces of charcoal are bunched together much more closely. So with regular pencils, it's going to be difficult to make it dark, but with the right technique, like what we're practicing, no matter what you use, you can make what you're drawing with dark and light. I know someone, there's a Bahamian artist, Alan Wallace. I saw him. He went viral doing an image of Steph Curry, but he didn't use a pencil. He used actual curry. You know what I mean? But he's able to make it look realistic. Yeah, so that's one of the cool things about value, but we ain't there yet. Still online. And peace, you know, here. Yeah, peace. Oh, you joining in? Nice. More the merrier. All right, so I'm gonna try this again. I want to see what it looks like with no, I'm gonna use the hard pencil. I'm not gonna cheat. Does the soft pencil help with shadowing? Yes, it does. It helps a lot because it removes the temptation to press harder on the page. It can leave indentations in it. You know, it can leave very harsh marks. And when the light hits it, it doesn't look pretty. You know, but you can always keep a very light touch. Even though you're making a darker mark, is because everything is clumped closer together, not because you keep doing this. You know? So I'll try it again.
I tried it with a mechanical pencil. It's not much difference.
Yeah, mechanical pencil is actually gonna make it more difficult because it's so precise. So you're gonna make more marks. Okay, I see you. I see you.
Very good indeed. Now listen to me. That's it. What is it? You know what that is? What is this called? Well, it's very simple to explain. Listen closely. Oh, this is a wonderful
making that gradual breakaway. Exactly. So hot.
It is.
Yeah, they keep making the gap too big. That's it. Alright, so I got 2 new drills that I can use. Courtesy of Chromo Mama. All right, cool. You know, how you feeling so far?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
A long time.
Yeah. So that was called hatching, right? And you also have something called cross hatching. And this is still dealing with value a little bit, but because you use straight lines, I guess it's pretty all right to go over it. So cross hatching, I'll use this since it's dark enough to show up on camera. I use a square for an example. All right. And I'm going to do something similar to what we just did. I'm going to just arch it on down, but I'll do those as parallel as I can. Right? And then, let's say if I did this, I made a cross. So with hatching, if you just cross it, cross hatching, right? And you're making value that way. But it's the same thing. The closer the lines are together, the darker it's going to be. The further apart they are, the lighter it's going to be. Right? So if I did something like that, but all of these lines were much closer together, and all of these lines were much closer together, then I would know that the light is coming from over here. And you could do other stuff too. Like I can go diagonal. That's pretty good even if I'm shading a round object. So let's say instead of a square, we did a circle. So even if I did C curves as hatches, like that, to say this is a curved object, I can still come through like this. And as long as I make that cross, I can still give you a certain level of depth to it. I really wish I could see what you were doing real time.
I just started. I was watching you, so I just started.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so a few things here would be, one of the key things here would also be the direction. So remember I said earlier that lines also indicate direction. Mm-hmm. Right? This was one of those cases where you can show the direction of a line, but also the direction that the light is coming from. Because there's nothing here, so I know the light is hitting here, and there's no light around here. I'm not gonna distract you though. I'll let you finish.
All right, this is my square.
Let's see.
The cross hatching square. Is it clear?
Okay. I can kind of see it on the small screen. I'm just waiting for it to show up on the larger screen. Edges are also super important too. Oh, showing up now. Oh, you just shaded the whole thing in, didn't you?
I mean, you did 3 directions. So I went across, down, and diagonal.
Right, man. At least after the space here. You know what I mean? But that's a misleading space because very rarely does light come from below.
Oh.
Yeah, so once you see there's a lighter spot, you already know there's more light in that area, right? So you can even say with a little dot up there. So we can do the curved lines, which may be a little bit more difficult. So if you just go in the circle, did you start shading it yet?
Yeah, the circle was a lot harder. My poor little circle.
To my poor little circles. Poor little tank.
Right.
Okay, we can do another circle. And with this circle, we'll just do straight lines. And this has been I've seen the trend where people would use, remember before I said you have a natural shape? Here, I could write this in a way that you can see it. And your geometric shapes. So I've seen this cool thing where people take natural shapes and they shade them in a very geometric way. And like they might have a cat, let's say, but the cat is made up of a series of blocks to let you know it's a three-dimensional object or something like that. Right, so it might look something like that. That's a bad explanation, but it looks something like that. It's made up of a bunch of cubes and polygons, but it's a natural shape, like an animal. Mm-hmm. These would be geometric shapes that we're working with. And again, it's very difficult to talk about lines by themselves. But we're going to get into a few more types of lines now. But with this one, what I want you to do is very lightly draw a line like so.
In which direction? I can't see it.
I'll show you right now.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Oh. Okay.
Yes. So what you're gonna do is start here. You're gonna draw a line. So it's almost like a smaller circle. But this is one of your curves. This is your C curve.
Okay.
Okay. Don't draw it as dark as mine. You can do it. You can darken it up later.
Just the curve or the curve in the circle?
The curve and the circle. So you're gonna draw your circle first, and then you're gonna put that curve right there.
Okay, yeah, I messed that up. Try this again.
You got eraser. You got erasers for.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, Sister Yafe said, "What's the difference between your medium pencil and the one we buy for school, like a number 2 pencil?" Well, thank you for asking, Sister Yafe. It goes on a scale, and the pencils that you're talking about, the main difference is this is made of charcoal, and the ones that you typically buy for school are called graphite pencils. But even with graphites, you have different grades, and the grades go from B. Let me see. Can you see? That's a small b. They go from B to better. B to H. Right? That's the scale. So over here on the B side, that would be your soft. And on the H, it pretty much stands for hard. So it's similar to the thingamajig. The charcoal ones, how you are hard and soft. So on the B side, you would have the softer graphite, which means it's darker because everything is coming out at a greater volume. Everything is, all of the shavings are coming off at a greater volume. On the H side, it's much harder, so less is going to come off. Meaning, the harder you press, the more difficult it's going to be to erase. But the softer you press, the easier it is to erase. So with your H, the regular H, it's fine. But like if I wanted to just do a little bit of sketching, like on previous sketching sessions, you would have seen me start with the hard and then gradually go to medium and then go to the soft. And I want to add the really dark value. it's kind of similar when you're using your number 2 pencil in school. The H is cool because it's easy to erase. The number 2 is even better because it's even harder than the H. So last is coming off is much easier to erase. The trade-off is the harder you press, it's not going anywhere because you just stop the paper. You just made a groove in the paper. So imagine carving a groove in a tree. The paper is just a thin piece of tree. So if you carve a groove in a tree, and no matter how much you try to remove the marking, the indentation is going to stay there, and it's going to be a lot harder to get into the groove. You know, so you can't get like trying to clean your grout. You can't get all of the dirt. Does that make sense? I hope it does really make sense. But yeah, you have B, and then you have in the middle you have HB, which is like a transition between B and H. Then you have H1, H2, H3, and then you have B1, B2, B3, B4. I mean, you have B, B2, B3, B4. So I have some here actually that I can show you. How you doing, Imanaya?
Oh, I'm alright. Just making circles, doodling.
Hold it up to the camera. Let me see. Show the class.
I done made like 11 circles.
Okay, that's cool. But you cut it in half. I put it at the bottom here because I want you to imagine the same arrow here is the light. It's a similar thing here. You know, this is where your light is coming.
I think this one is closest to that.
Yeah. So imagine this line here. Let me see which one you're talking about. Which one is closest? Which one is closest? Which one are you talking about?
Maybe this one.
Hold it up a little high, closer. Little high. More to the right. Okay. You want to make sure that it's at the bottom because this line here is called terminator, right? And this is where this shape stops facing upward and it starts facing downward, right? So this is what you would call a plane change. And what we're gonna do here on this side is we're gonna make it dark. So we're gonna leave this alone. Okay, until later.
Okay.
So you wouldn't want to use your mechanical pencil on this one. You would want to use your number 2 pencil because your mechanical pencil is going to give you hard lines and you're going to want some softer lines to do your shading. Okay? All right, so just going to show you very briefly. I'm going to do the same thing we did over here, but I'm going to do it sort of like in reverse because in actuality, there's less light the further you go down. Up here is kind of alright, but down here there's like no light getting into this area. So I'm going to start dark. I'm going to see if I can gradually make it light like so. Can you see?
Yes.
You see me?
My point is not sharp on here.
Let me see what you got going on. It's not like you got your tongue sticking out on the side.
I do. I'm glad you can't see it though. Oh goodness.
Sister Yafe giving moral support in the chat.
Uh-oh. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's in reverse on my end, but I think it's looking good.
Is that the right way?
All right, so I see it looks a little bit like you sort of cut it like down the middle, so your point ends like right here, and I want you to go up down there. screen, if that makes it easier. So you can't see it. You see it from this camera. Okay, so I just moved this line from down here to up there to illustrate the point. Okay. Yeah. Let me see it again. I was looking at the wrong screen. My bad. You didn't even show me nothing. I was looking at the replay on the big screen. Yeah, but whatever the one was on the client, I like that one.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Don't break. All right, cool. And there you go. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is make down here a little bit darker, so you can draw the same line, but just make them a little closer. And gradually spread them out. And what I'm also gonna do, well, I'll wait till you get there. You good? You ready?
Yeah, I think it's a little more shaded.
Okay.
Can you tell?
Bring a little closer, because from here it just looks like the whole thing is shaded in. All right, I may have to wait until it shows up on the jumbotron. The screen is too.
Not the jumbotron.
Yeah, the jumbotron. I could kind of see it a little bit just now. That's looking a little better. Remember, the trick is to keep the lines close but not overlapping. I know it's real difficult because it's a crowded space. So what I want to do now is I'm going to draw some parallel lines here too, but they're not going to be as close. Okay? And they're not going to go the full distance. So think of that X being like right here or right here. Right here. Okay? So this area here, I'll make it like so. And this is still dealing with line control. So you can see my axis. Can you see my axis?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I made some
Okay.
extras.
Okay. I know. Make sure you make them light because they're gonna get erased. They're just a guide for you to say, okay, I'm gonna stop my line here.
I'm back to I can't see anymore.
Oh my bad. I need a bigger spit. Get on my way. All right. So I'm just gonna make these lines stop here.
Oh, stop the lines at the X's.
Right, stop the lines at the X's. Yeah, hopefully you can see a little better. Don't worry, I'm gonna get my camera game up soon.
Damn
Let's see.
light.
That's fine. You can always darken them. Bring it a little bit to the left, I guess. I don't know if that'll be your right though. Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, they're like, and your other lines are really close together, which is fine because this is practice, right? So do it a couple more times, and I don't know why Sister Yahoo is making a face. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even get to your other comment. Just saw it. Okay, I asked if it made sense. You said sort of. I've been drawing lately and run into problems in shading and give the depth dimension to the item and so on. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can help you with that.
Akota Yafe been drawing up a storm. She
Oh,
needs
yeah?
to be on here. Yeah. Her
Why is
drawings
she-
look really great.
Why is she not? It's bedtime soon. Anyway. Yeah, it's about that time. And I really only plan to make these like an hour, like short sessions. But this has been cool. I like this. I like these drills. Okay, so let me see if I can help you out with yours. Oh, make sure too that this line here, notice that this is darker than what's inside. And I did that for a reason. And we're gonna work on, I really wish I could see what you were doing in real time.
This pencil is terrible. I'll be back there
it's-
next time.
It's never the pencil.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Because I cannot get these curves right.
Yeah, man. That's why you practice those lines. You know, so if you really want to get better at it, you can practice those drills, the C curve, the S curve, and then those straight lines.
Yeah, mine don't look nothing like yours.
Yeah, I am going to go over briefly how to sharpen your pencil, which sounds like negative one, level negative one, but it's super important whenever sharpen your pencil, and it's harder than it sounds. I guess I could give a brief demo before we leave. But the reason why the reason why my pencil is sharpened this way, if you can see, thank you. The reason why it's sharpened this way is I have like an inch of just lead, and that's so I can draw softer lines. So instead of making these very harsh indenting line, I can make a very soft broad stroke, and that would help me see if I want to make this Terminator blend a little bit more. I can do like that. See what I mean?
Yes.
Value is your darks and lights. So your values are the scale from dark to light. So similar to how we were doing with this over here, these would be your darker values, and then it would be going, what it's supposed to be going, to your lighter values. This may be a better example of it. It's kind of difficult because the camera is super close to the depth because it's split up. But your value is your gradation or your progression from light to dark. And there are some areas that are very, there's some areas that are very light because the light is hitting it directly. And then there's some areas that are very dark because there's no light hitting it. Right. Let me see. You gonna get it?
You just use one piece of paper, first of all.
Okay. That looked like how mine did in high school.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, because you press so hard and you fill in your space so with such a solid amount of graphite, it's going to look a little it's not going to graduate like how we did with these lines up top. So we pull them away slightly. That's what we should be doing. That's what we should be doing in other areas of the drawing too. That helps you to do it in a straight line so that later you can do it in multiple directions, like how I'm doing this here. But I never learned how to do it in a straight line. You know, because I'm rarely drawing straight lines.
Yeah, I'm just making it worse now.
Nah, don't worry about it. What we'll do is we'll draw another circle. Because you have a firmer grasp of the basics, and then we're gonna close out. And what I will do is I will use the same thing you're using. Okay? That way it doesn't feel like I'm cheating.
No, you're not.
You cheating?
No, you the professional.
I'm just messing with you. Okay, so a little further away. Oh no. Oh no. What did I do? I'll do this. Yeah, so sketching that allows me to. Okay. I'll flip to another page so that it's clearer to see. Yeah, nice and clear. Willfully you can see my marks. But I'll just do a circle. Nice little circle. Okay. And are you able to follow along?
I'm trying. I mean, I have the makings of a circle. It's really light.
Oh yeah, mine look pretty light too. I can barely see yours, but I know it's difficult to draw it in a way that the camera will see it. Just do it in a way that it works for you on your end, and by the time we're done, we'll be able to see everything. If we press too hard, then it's going to be difficult to work with everything. Okay, and this one is, I think this is an HB. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to draw that same ellipse. Make it look like a crescent going on. And what's happening is, because the light is coming here, all the dark shadows are basically dark. Right. So, are you able to see anything on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, smoke signals that it is kind of light. So I'll just draw it heavy. I can still make it work if I draw it. Just so everyone else can see. Is that a little bit more visible? I think it should be.
Looks like you got some glow in the dark specs on there.
Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to use the hatching line, right, that we were using before. I'm just going from bottom to top, and I'm still going to be using lines that are really close together, and then I'm going to eventually start spacing them apart. Okay?
Okay.
Yep. Alright, here we go. You can't see nothing. Alright, can you see that?
Oh, okay, I can see it.
Yeah. What I was saying earlier about the temptation to press hard on the page and making very harsh dents in it, it's like that. You see all of that sheen?
Yes.
Yeah, that happens because I'm making so many dents in the paper that it's easier for the light to bounce off of it. and it makes it look very cool if you're doing like a finished piece and get in a gallery or something like that. It's in reverse, but I can see it. Yeah. Make sure this line isn't too dark. Okay, so you can erase some of it. Just make it a little lighter. You already know where it is, so all you're doing is removing lines. Basically, you're just removing lines, and then you can make a lighter line. Yeah, that way it's not such a harsh change. Okay, so what we're gonna do now? Good, there you go.
Oh no.
Oh no, what happened?
No, I erased it and tried to go over it a little bit. Is that any better?
We might have to wait 20 seconds. But while you're waiting, remember the X's that you drew before? I want you to draw them in your mind now. You don't have to put them on paper. Don't put them on paper, actually. I want you to just draw them in your head. Now that you have a basic gist of this is where the light is.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have that basic gist of that, you don't need the X's really. I'll just take a I almost missed the replay. But yeah, that's good. Everything is still pretty light. And once you get more confident, you can make more executive decisions on how dark your line is going to be. So also like before, I'm just going to do the same thing. Everything is going to be lighter, right? But we're still going in the same direction. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go. It's lighter, so, and it's not going the whole way. It's gonna stop here. Stop there. And then you'll go the whole way. And of course I can use this is how it looks close up, by the way.
Mine don't really nothing like that.
That's because intuitively I already know how it's supposed to look. You know, but that's through practice. Like, this is my go-to in terms of just drawing a regular shape. Like, anytime I go to draw a shape, I draw this because I've practiced drawing it so many times. You know, so that's pretty much all I got in my arsenal. There's an eyes. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think none of it can be seen. It's so light.
Yeah, it is super light.
Yeah. I gotta make it dark.
Okay, so the beautiful part about the way that it does look now is you can do what's called layering. So layering is actually, this is a good opportunity to demonstrate one of the many videos that I loaded up and did not use. But I'll show you what I mean by layering right now. What video was it? Oh, it's this one. Alright, so Sister Yamina is going to bring the music down. I'm going to start this video. Or maybe it's just going to mute us out. Who knows?
That was so cool. I'm
I
ready
know,
to
right?
paint.
I want to try that.
Right, I'm ready to paint. Oh my gosh, that was cool.
Okay, everyone was saying they could still see Imanaya. Hopefully it didn't take away from the video and you could actually see it. Or maybe you're talking about something else. 1021, probably talking about something else. I don't know. But did you see how she layered everything on top of one another?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have the opportunity to do here. So I'm in a similar position. Even though I put much darker values down, I can still put darker values on top of those values. But because there's something beneath it, I don't have to worry about covering empty space. Oh, Sister Yafe is they're already ready. They're ready to go.
It reminded me of the paint pouring.
The paint pouring, right, is very similar, isn't it? Yeah, but notice she only used lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she used circles a little bit, but that's like the starting point. The only thing she didn't do is drag it, But she started with a point. She put different points on the paper, and then she just dragged them. That's all you're doing with a line. You start with a dot, and then you drag it. But I'm gonna show you an example of the layering. It's similar to what I do with how I start with the light pencil, then I come back and I go over with a darker pencil, but I have to put down less. So I'm gonna layer this one now. See if I can bring it up closer to the screen and do it and hold it. Let's see. Okay, so
In this next song,
did it like that, and this side is supposed to be darker than this one. Right, so I'm just gonna darken this one up a little bit more. Okay, and then I can darken up the line a little bit more.
Well, as I said, join the fun, join the fun.
But I'm actually going to use technically cross-hatching to do it. But you go ahead and let me see how you feel. Was that straightforward enough for you?
Yes.
Just for practice,
Okay.
nod your
I
head.
don't know how these lines coming out. But...
Oh man, you're already lowering the bar. I don't know. Okay, let's see how we looking.
Is it in the camera?
I can see it in the camera. We may have to wait a little while because it's so light. I'm gonna work out the kinks with this whole situation because I decided to do this interactive thing on the fly, but it was cool. It was cool working alongside someone else. Okay, I see you. Okay, so what you could do in Manaya is make this line, the separating line, the terminator. You can actually make this slightly darker now. And the way you can do that is simply using hatching. This would technically come as cross hatching. Remember, all you have to do is cross it. Right? So you're just crossing it because this line is already going down. Technically, it's a C-curve going downwards. So all you're doing is going horizontally across it, but you're gonna make short lines. Okay, so I'll demonstrate. I'm trying to do this while looking at the camera. Let me look at the drawing. All you're doing is making short lines along that curve. Short lines along the curve. And you're gonna use an aspect of a type of layering here as well. That actually looks better on camera. It's me.
Oh no.
Notice how this line is the darkest thing here. Over here is lighter than on this middle point, but over here is lighter than everything. So this would be light, medium, and then dark.
I have all kinds of gradients going on this paper. And
Let's see.
shades and
It's looking good though. You can let me wait until the jumbotron goes in before I congratulate you. Okay, just picking up the paper, bringing it to the screen. Survey says not bad. Yeah, not bad. What you could do is make your dark lines a little bit curvier, which is going to be difficult because it feels weird. All you're doing is drawing straight lines, but you're varying the length. So I'm starting here, I'm coming here, and then eventually I'll start a little further away, sort of, if that makes sense. I'm here, and all I'm doing is shifting myself to keep in alignment with them. You just abusing this paper, I can hear it. Just pass it over with your pencil like that.
I'm probably pressing too hard. I'm trying to make it darker.
Stabbing the paper. It's wrong. It's wrong. He did nothing to you.
I don't know. Yep, darker. Not much different, but let's see.
But if nothing else, you look like you're having fun. But that's looking better. I must say, that's still looking good for somebody who is restricted to just a regular school pencil. The artist will pick up anything and just make stuff out of it.
Yeah, mine does not look close to yours, but it's something.
Jumbotron. Jumbotron says that looked good. You know, it might be helping that you got a blurry camera, but it looked good.
Right. The blurriness is on my side.
Yeah. And what you can also do is like the same curve here. The darker that is, the more pronounced this plane change is. So like I was saying, the plane change would be similar to if I drew a cube. Let me look at what I'm drawing instead of looking on the camera. If I drew a cube, that would be one face or one plane. That would be another face or another plane. This would be another face. And if you wanted to make it like see-through, or small. So all of these are different planes of a cube, right? 1, 2, 3, and then 4 or 5. You get bigger, right? And what that does here for us is it lets us know that these are also two different planes. And this hard line right here, it lets me know the difference between this plane and this plane. Otherwise, it just looks like this. And I wouldn't know that there's a difference between this and this unless I have this harsh line right here dividing the two. And it's a similar thing here. These two sides are two different planes, but because this is a round figure, the transition is a little less harsh. That's why you have a thicker, softer line. And the darker you make the center, the more you can say, this is one side and this is the other side. But you want to stick close to the center of the line and not get too close to the edges with your dark line, because then it just make it look weird. And I'm trying to explain this in the best way I can, without making it difficult. Is it easy to follow so far?
I understand what you're saying. I'm not sure I can draw it out, but I understand what you're saying to see the difference.
Okay. I want you to hold it up to the screen for maybe 3 seconds, and then you can start attempting the darkening of that line.
Oh no, I did it already.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
I tried to make the outside darker.
You trying to make the outside darker or the inside?
The outside.
Oh, you mean this side here?
Can you see it?
Hold it to the left a little bit. A little bit to the left, a little bit more. Okay, I can kind of see it. I gotta wait for the Jumbotron. Let me start filling in my darker line so you can see it though, until it catches up. Up, holding it up. It's looking good. I think with some more practice, you'll get it down. You'll be able to draw this in your sleep. You'll be doodling these at work all day. Remember, all I did was make this section darker. All I did. When you start getting fancy, you can start adding stuff like highlights. It's difficult to see now because I'm drawing, my paper is gray. So just a quick, we'll get to it a little bit more when we get on values. We're about to wrap it up. I'll just show like a quick demonstration of sharpening to get. But this is the lightest portion of it here. This is where the light is directly hitting the sphere. This is what we call direct light. But highlight, like when people draw eyes and they like put something white so that it's a highlight. Mm-hmm. What the highlight actually is when the light bounces off the object, because light bounces off the object. That's why this isn't completely dark. Because I gotta explain this too. So if this was on a flat surface and this was the shadow, basically no light is able to get in there. But the light is still bouncing off of the walls, right? Mm-hmm. Bouncing all day. So the light can actually bounce off of there and hit this side here. So it's still getting light, but the light is weaker this side here. So this is what you would call reflected light. So think of it this way. This is the sun, and this is the moon.
Okay.
Make sense? So the light from the moon is weaker than the sun because the sun is direct light. It's shining on us. Whereas the moon is like, is a bank shot. You know? It's banking off of the moon and then coming to us. So every time the light touches the surface, it loses some of its power. Okay, so even if you're doing like research for people, they say you go to the primary source, because the more secondary sources or more what people call research, which is actually Googling, the more people's work that you research, quote unquote, that's far away from the source, the weaker the information is, as opposed to going to the primary source. So instead of going by gossip, like someone said, I think I heard someone say my uncle, sister's cousin, boyfriend, baby daddy, however that works, they saw Jimmy punch Johnny in the face, but in reality, Jimmy was trying to thwart a beat, and he actually hit Johnny. Someone who was there and afraid of the beat would know the truth. And that's similar to direct light as opposed to reflected light. But highlight is something kind of different because it's when the light bounces off the object and it hits you directly, like it comes straight at you. Like if the light is coming from this and going straight, it's coming from this and going straight up to your eye. So that's your highlight. Like it's bouncing off and going straight into your pupil. So that's gonna be super light to you because you can't see anything outside of it. Okay? And that even adds some more roundness to it. So I did this with the same HP pencil you were using. HB. Sorry, not HP. Yeah, printer. But the same HB pencil you were using. Right? And all I did was add a little highlight and a terminator. And if I add even shadow down here, kind of easy to grab your own pencil. But you add a little shadow down here, it makes it look even more realistic.
Cool.
Okay. And this is something, willfully, those who are watching it later, I know this is kind of longer than I wanted it to be. Willfully, those who come in a little later would be able to watch this and get something out of it. But we're just using lines. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll take a pencil. I'll take this pencil, and I'll just show briefly. I'll show briefly how I sharpen it. So this is a straight razor, not the other ones that you use in box cutters because they're very rough on your fingers. I use this one because it has this little backing on it. It makes it softer. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my pencil. It takes a while to get used to it, and I'm just gonna push, very shallow. I'm just gonna push, and all I'm doing is just removing pieces of the pencil and exposing the charcoal that's beneath. And it takes a while to get the right amount off without getting too deep and getting stuck, or without getting too light that you don't take anything off. So it's almost a 45-degree angle, which you can always rewind and how deep you said 45 degrees? And I'll just keep going in a circle until I start seeing little bits of graphite showing up. And I want to make sure that I have enough wood to hold on to that graphite. So it has to be a very a generous amount of taper, right? So I can't just have it. I can't just have this much graphite and this little taper because it's gonna break very easily, and you will get mad. You will curse. You will say, "Screw this! I'm getting something to eat." But it's very important to get a solid amount of taper in relationship to your pencil. Now this needs to be sharpened a little bit too, but sharpening from the wooden side, you would need a razor. Sharpening the lead side, you would need sandpaper. So I'll use a piece of sandpaper that I have used before. This already has graphite on it, and you're basically sanding it. So I'll get some more so you can see the whole process on this. And you might even get to see the part of the process where I get mad and start cursing. If you're lucky. You also want to be careful not to dig into the graphite because that makes it more likely to break. Like if you can see, I don't think you can. Yeah, you can see right here. I took a little piece off. Yeah, it makes it very likely to break. Do not go as quickly as I am, or you will hear that fateful snap. I'm telling you. Okay, so you can see I have a decent amount of graphite. I can probably get a little bit more exposed. This is usually where you break it too. I could do more. I could do more. Next thing you know, you're sitting on the sofa looking at the rain. I had it. I had it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, if you can see, sort of. I can't show you from this angle, but I have it lifted up at again an angle, right? Because I want the tip much sharper than I want the sides. So I'm just gonna shave it off. And pro tip, I also use it to shave off some of the more rugged edges of the wooden piece. So you can see here where the wood is rubbing off too. Yeah, this is a whole workout.
No, I said it's a whole weapon.
Oh, that too. Yeah, but you can see how it's getting. Yeah, you can see how it's getting sharper. And now I can make, other than making a mess, I can also make much broader strokes, broader, softer strokes. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is also sharpening the pencil. And you can layer it up, so you don't necessarily have to press hard. I just put a layer down, just put another layer down, just put another layer down, another layer. So you don't necessarily have to press super hard your first time around. Okay, so
Cool.
That is it.
Thank you for my lesson.
No problem. Give thanks for riding through and always showing up. Definitely appreciate it. Give thanks. For everybody coming in later. All of the links from the one video that I grabbed. And the link to the drawing drills, the line drawing drills, they're going to be in the description below. Give thanks to Anu Radio in the background, always on the ones and twos, giving good music. You always know a good DJ because you forget they're there. Until you're closing out, you be like, yeah, she was playing, she did do a thing. But yeah, that's it from me. Give thanks, and we'll see you next time. Coming back with lines again, and then, we're going to be moving forward with our other stuff. That was fun on my side too, Naya. So yeah, definitely give thanks for coming through. Peace, everybody. Be well.